And two very similar teams who just took the ice moments ago. NB Ice and Riptide. And then here we got the 2014 Borns. Up the wall, sent here by Roy. Played back by the Riptide. They'll go to the defense. Here's Parsons. Going up there for Trainer. Trainer up there. LeBlanc will put it back to his D-line. They'll get a nice breakout going. That one looked to have been deflected. They're not going to call icing here. Near the Riptide, the blue line. Stopping, they'll curl it around and throw it against the wall. Cameron going up for her man. Man working in, trying to get a shot off. He can't. It's poked in the line now by Terrien. Going back on it, Purcell will shoot it up. No icing, NB Ice 1-1. Riptide are 2-0. Both of these teams looking to secure themselves a spot and a high-seeded spot in this year's quarterfinals as the Riptide go up, shoot it in the zone. Buzzin grabs it, will try to throw it along the boards. Working with it, here's Larder. Larder skating back on it. We'll go D to D. Some nice one-touch passes as now it's up the wall. Here's Burns working in. Burns around the wall in the corner. Couldn't quite hold possession. Now Burns will have another opportunity. Had two NB Ice players on him, so was forced to turn it over. Here's Hughes stepping up. Excuse me, that's Buzzin walking in the shot. A nice save there. Ice with it again. At the line, Buzzin. Sent down to Kinney. Kinney working his way around. Trying to get around the net. Still with possession here in the corner. Here's Kinney. Has a couple options. Tries to turn and spin off his man in the corner. Here goes up the wall to Roy. Roy at the line. Send it right back where he came from. Return to sender. And here's Kinney, side of the net. Couldn't quite jam up in front. There's a little poke at the line from Roy. The Ice doing a good job holding possession here in this one. Roy pokes it down, trying to hold possession. There was a collision there. Kinney couldn't stay on his feet. Walking back was Kirkham. Ice go back quickly the other way. Here's Chisholm. Chisholm stepping up left side, trying a shot. That didn't work. Goes around the net. Now for Ivy, up to the blue line. That shot was redirected well wide. Here the Riptide colliding with their own players. The backhand from Ivy going above the net. Oh my, what a chance for the Ice. Here's Terrien at the line. Banked off the boards. Waiting, it gets thrown high in the air, knocked down. Almost a chance there for Hatton, but he couldn't quite get a stick on it. And the Riptide are getting some unlucky bounces so far. Ice yet to capitalize. Here it goes around the boards for McKinnon. Tucker McKinnon over the line. What a beautiful pass to Trainer. Trainer trying to whiz by LeBlanc. Trainer in all alone. The shot to his backhand. Scores! Ellis Trainer, what a move. He turns on the Jets and buries it home on his backhand. And that's going to make it 1-0 Riptide early after a surge of possession by the Ice. And that one just squeaked by Laforge. Wasn't much he could do about it. Toby Miller is in goal for the Riptide. It's now taken around the boards. Stopped in by Kember. Kember looks to go down in the corner for Burns. Burns looks up high for Parsons. Parsons waits and fires off the leg of Man. A good block to get in the way. Here Parsons going to try it again. Laforge will steer that one off to the side. Kember into the zone. Running around the boards. Going to chase it here is Haslam. Haslam able to get it down deep into the zone. Burns sneaking in down in the corner where it's taken away by Guimond. He'll go against the wall. Guimond was tied up. Parsons back into the zone. Here the Ice. to reset. Hughes will throw it across. Might be able to catch the opposition on a change. Walking up, here's the shot that just misses wide to the net of Miller. Riptide looking to reset that one goal, boosting the momentum off the boards. Is this one going to go on net? It is not. Ever so close to negating the icing. Riptide going up against the wall. They look to get it out of the zone. Here's McDonald moving back to his defense. McDonald, a nice cut to get to the middle. His pass up ahead intended for Larder, and all the way down it'll go. No icing. Here's Luca LeBlanc against the boards. Stopped in by Kinney. Around for LeBlanc. Luca LeBlanc again. Will rim this one along the boards. Got it up for Cameron. Cameron unable to get to it. Dylan McDonald. Here the Riptide in their own zone. Looking to create an effective breakout here. Walking in the shot towards the net. Redirected. That was Chisholm trying to find his way to the net with a nifty dangle. Poke checked. Ended up in the glove. Face off to Miller's left. Off the tie-up. It's going to be taken by the Riptide back in their own end. They'll rotate it by Perry and go up past the wall. A pass that's blocked off by Terriak could have been very dangerous if he hadn't. Here's Trainer. He has the only goal for the Riptide so far. Trainer will move it back to his defense. Moving in, Anema. Emmett Anema into the zone. Rotated back. Here's Hughes. A little spin to get around the defense. Looking awfully shifty as Hatton throws it back up. Perry, Anema, D to D. They go up to the zone over for McKinnon. McKinnon into the zone for Hughes. Hughes throwing it in the middle. There's a little poke check. And they're getting a couple changes, although they definitely have 6 people on the ice. So that's going to be a penalty to the Riptide. Too many men. Someone got a bit jumpy off the bench. It may have been Cruz Parsons. Really looking to get in the action. And it's going to be Emmett Anema that's on to serve the penalty. Here, face-off one. The Ice go to work on the power play. The shot towards the net doesn't work. Buzzing at the line, hands off Purcell. Purcell cuts to the middle, right to the gap. Purcell, the shot just missed wide. What a chance from Charlie Purcell. And that one just didn't go. Here could be a shorthanded break. Stepping up, walking in, McDonald. Oh my God, what a move going to the net. And turned away by Laforge. Almost didn't have the puck in his handle. But here's Parsons all the way down the ice. Parsons moving down, being chased by Chisholm. Parsons will heave it up to the blue line. And stepping up, here's Burns, working his way in. Dawson Burns hits the brakes, cuts to the middle. Dawson Burns, the shot just misses the goal. What great chances here, both shorthanded and on the power play. Luca LeBlanc around Burns. He's going to poke that down to his defense. Here's White skating back. Fans on it. Could be a break. That's going to be a call after White lost possession. White is going to go to the box. Trip or hook or interference. That was my third guess. So a 5-on-3 for 58 seconds now. So a golden opportunity for the Ice to get on the board. LeBlanc at center. Right on the center ice dot. Over for Terrien. Into the zone. Terrien stops. Works his way in over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc waits, tries to go back door. He knocks the stick out of the hands of Burns. They now have 3 players, one without a stick. Out in front, the pass. It's jumping. Out in front, the shot from Terrien. It was blocked before it could get to the goaltender. And all the way down the ice it'll go. Regathering LeBlanc, 23 seconds left to go in the 5-on-3. He'll spring him offside just by half a step. And the face-off is, unfortunately for the Ice, going to go all the way back down to their defensive end due to the long stretch pass. But so far, a really good penalty kill, nonetheless, for the Riptide. Still 20 seconds to go, 2-man advantage. We don't see those too often. The Ice need to capitalize, especially being down 1. Here's Hughes shoving it across. Bazin will get it off the board. He'll leave that for Chisholm. Chisholm steps in, walks on the left side, waits, debates, out in front, off escape. Now this could be a rush. Player just getting out of the box. It's flipped in, so now a 5-on-4 for just less than a minute. Now not much time, less than a minute to go in the 5-on-4. What a pass to the side. There it is, the shot. Miller the save, and the rebound was tied up just before it could get across the red line. Wow, even more chances for the Ice that just have not gone in. Have been very unlucky thus far. Here's Bazin stopping behind the net. He shakes off Gurns. Out in front, Gurns intercepts, tries to leave it for McDonald. Taken away by Ivy. Here's Ivy at center, less than 20 to go. Ivy up for Hatton. Hatton across, waiting. Ivy to the net, doesn't go. He gets his shot back, goes down for Ivy. Ivy down low, Chisholm up high. Luca LeBlanc waits, debates, delays to the line. Luca LeBlanc goes down the wall as they wait to set this up. Still 1-0 in favor of the Riptide. Here's a heave. It's picked off by Roy. Roy getting onside, having to dangle through a few, but couldn't get by Dylan McDonald. Here the Riptide, opposite way. Working up the wall is Burns, or McKinnon, excuse me, before he was stripped of the puck, and it's taken back the opposite way. Working in, man on his backhand, cuts to his forehand, and couldn't get the shot off that he wanted. 2 minutes to go in the first period. Ice have been dominating ever since. Shot from the line from Roy, the save from Miller, and the rebound is just sent wide off a backhand shot. Here's a little fake as they go the opposite way behind the net. Intensity heating up so far at the end of the first period. Here's Roy chasing after. He might get a stick lifted. He has his pocket picked. The Riptide takeover behind the net in the offensive zone. It was sent up to the line. Looked like that had been Boudreau. Here out in front, McKinnon. Tucker McKinnon going into the boards. We'll wrap that one around the boards. It stopped in at the line, and just outside the zone from Perry. Here's Mann. Mann, potential 2-on-1 with Purcell. Mann walks in and can't quite get it to the front of the net. Purcell's going to find it in the corner. Out in front, picked off by the Riptide defense. And into the neutral zone will go. A nice move here from Larder. Jet Larder working in around the net, still with it. Looks for his options, look for a setup. Larder still with it, done a full lap, tried to go cross ice, but 2 NB Ice players in the way, and that gets redirected and sent the opposite direction. Austin Hughes will work his way in. A little clear. Worked in behind the net, McDonald. Riptide get it back. Hard pass, doesn't get out of the zone. It's Terrien that sends it back in. NB Ice really turning up the intensity and the momentum to end this period. Still have not gotten one past Miller, however, as he covers up. 21 seconds left to go in the first period. It's Brayden Elaine from the IGA surface here at the Uniplex. Dieppe, New Brunswick for the 2026 East Coast Ice Battle. 2014 NB Ice versus 2014 Riptide. Both these teams looking to secure a spot. There's a shot on net. Chisholm was looking for the rebound. It's regathered here by Kirkham. Kirkham, the little sauce, intercepted by Chisholm. Chisholm in going behind the net. Chisholm waits up high. Buzzin delays the shot, blocked, and the Riptide will shoot it all the way down. Will go right on net to Laforge. But all zeros on the clock will say that's the end of the first period. It's 1-0 in favor of the Riptide. That goal coming from Ellis Trainer. The assist to Cruz Parsons. That one coming earlier in the first period at 8:20. And second period underway. The Ice want to continue what they started, the absolute domination. As here's Kirkham walking into the zone just over the blue line. They look for a shot. That pass intercepted as the Ice come back the other way. Here's Ivy leading the rush. Ivy a crossover for Hatton, and he's poke checked by Anema as it goes out to the zone. Terrien left off for his D partner. Work down Anema in the zone. Trying to go up the wall, taken back Hatton, going around the net. Hatton and Anema tangled up. It's Hatton that wins the puck battle. Hatton circles up, lets one go to the back door. What a save made by Miller as he extends the pad. Robs Tristan Chisholm. And Chisholm wanted something called as the net was kicked off. Not much Miller could have done. Face off one, Chisholm around Parsons. No look pass out in front. There's the shot turned away by Miller. Side of the net. A beautiful chance again for the Ice. Dominating, but down in this game. Chisholm up to the line. Walking in. Terrien lets one go. Just wide of the net. Took a redirection on the way there. Chisholm will send it up to the line. Now McKinnon. Potential 2-on-1 the other way. He's in. The shot over the net may have been deflected. He had Trainer with him. Trainer already has one so far. There's McDonald walking back in. McDonald around the net, looks out, and went up to the D line. As there's a pin up in behind the net. That was McKinnon being forced up against the boards. Riptide now establishing some offensive zone possession. What a pass to the opposite side. There's the shot that misses the net. It'll go up to the blue line. Parsons to the net. Rebound in between the feet of Trainer. And what a chance that would have been. Rolling puck going right in between his feet. Ever so unfortunate. Shot from the line. Redirected him behind the net. McKinnon looks out in front. Tries to poke it through. That was blocked by LeBlanc. Riptide to the net. The save, the rebound. They score! After relentless pressure from the ice, the Riptide find themselves establishing possession and make it Jet Larder that gets the last laugh out in front with the tip to put it and seal the deal. Two 2-0 now in favor of the Riptide. After relentless pressure from the ice, there's a shot that's turned away. Rimmed around the boards, Larder, the latest goal scorer. Moved up to the blue line. Shot through, Larder, again the turnaround. Gets it back to the NB Ice defense. Looking around, Buzzin. Left it across to the blue line. The Riptide move it through, here's Larder. Moving back in. Cutting to the left, hits the brakes, tries to fool out Hughes as it goes behind the net. Look back out in front, tried to hit Larder. He was waiting right in front for the 1T. Puck caught in the feet of the official. Luckily getting it back, shot towards the net, and that one just missed the post. I don't believe Laforge saw that one for a second. Behind the net, Guimard in with McKinnon as well. McKinnon takes over in the corner, pressure from Hughes. McKinnon down in behind the net. Larder in front of the net in his office. Back behind the net. McKinnon in the corner. Waits, goes to the net. Ramped off the paddle of Laforge and above the net. There's another try and another save made by Laforge. Here's McKinnon in the corner. He'll backhand that one behind the net for Larder. Larder waiting, trying to cut to the net. Little spin. How does he still have it? As a player was going to the bench, almost another too many men, as Mason White will be able to shoot it in, but he is offside in the process. A long time without a whistle, 7:47. Face off one, Anema. Shot in off the wall, it'll go in front. Laforge will cover, so now the face-off will go to the Riptide offensive zone. Face-off taken by the ice. On defense, it's Roy. Shooting that one up, a clean breakout now. Anema on defense. Hatton throwing it to the middle. That one's offside, but it'll come outside the zone. They'll try to reset. Their ice player still in the zone. That was Ivy, the last one to get out. NB Ice, Hatton. Skating in, he stops. Works in for the Riptide. Kirkham, he's poke check back to Anema. Anema, little fake pass, taken away. He's pickpocketed Chisholm walking in. Here's Chisholm, the shot. Tried to go to the 5-hole of Miller. And Miller shuts the door. Here's Hatton, across for Chisholm. Chisholm waits, gonna let one go to the net, blockered away. Here's Anema. Regathering behind the net, and there's a big hit. LeBlanc with almost a blind side as the Ice still regain possession. Here's LeBlanc, and with McDonald, his pass intercepted. Perry against the wall, over for Gerns, and here's a penalty up and coming to the NB Ice, as that's going to be head contact against Luca LeBlanc, so we will go to the box. After one had slip. And definitely some contact. They'll make that a 4-minute power play. So the Riptide will now get a lengthy attempt to increase their lead. Parsons from the line, gloved down by Laforge. 2-0 in favor of the Riptide. Your goals so far, Jet Larder, and Ellis Trainer. He had the first one out in front. Trainer, speak of the devil, looking to get his second. Walking back here, the Riptide. Parsons regathering in his zone. He has pressure from Man. Man with speed, trying to get the best of him. But it's Parsons that does get it up. Here's a pass picked off, and another pickpocket from Burns. Burns playing some keep away. Off for Verhulst. Riptide enter into the zone. Burns in the corner. Turning, looking towards the point. Then walks back to the net. There's the shot that just missed. Verhulst got to catch up to it quickly. Gets there and will throw it into the zone. Working back is Hughes. Stopped in the corner. NB Ice come back the other way. Shot into the zone. Working in behind the net. Parsons. Another heave, touched by a high stick by the Ice, but will negate it after it's touched by McDonald. Here's McDonald, poke check, stepping in as Cameron shorthanded. Cameron, the toe drag, release, and that went off the blocker of Miller. A great shorthanded opportunity. As the Ice doing some damage shorthanded, walking in, there's Kinney to the net, where it's redirected away, and McKinnon will walk back for the Riptide. Another poke as it's kept into the zone. Riptide getting a bit frustrated on this power play. Against the wall to be held in by Cameron. Cameron has some room. Gonna play some keep away before firing it into the opposite corner. Riptide shooting this one up. Here's Roy, will throw it against the boards. I hit the leg of the official. Potential 2-on-1 shorthanded. Walking in, here's Cameron. The shot hits the side of the net. He's definitely going to want that one back. As now the Riptide the opposite way. Kember stepping up. Bryden Kember working in. Sent across. McDonald stops. Sent to the line. There's another try that skipped past McDonald. Roy will wind up, try to wire it against the wall, stopped by White at the line. Working up, there's a huge collision right next to the Riptide bench. A shorthanded, multiple players down. It's going to be taken out by the Ice. Working up is Hatton. Hatton stepping in, poke checked. Kember takes over, goes through the legs of Ivy. And as now McDonald heads up ice. McDonald working in, still cutting wide, goes with a shot. Was redirected and missed wide. Mason White trying to turn and put it to the net. Riptide player diving. Here's White to the blue line, waiting. There's a drive on the line off the pad of Laforge and over into the face-off circle where the Riptide will regain possession. Perry going in around the net on his backhand. Back up into the corner. Out in front, no one there, and this could be a rush the other way. Bringing it up is Hatton. Hatton along the left side. Just under 20 seconds left to go in the 4 minute. Putting it to the net. Will be taken away by the Riptide. Ice just looking for one to get it started. Here's Kirkham. Up the left side, Kirkham could have a break. Great defense by Roy to steer him aside. Kirkham and Roy still tied up with their sticks, getting closer and closer to the blue line as it's taken over by Ivy. Penalty now expired. So the NB Ice have killed off a 4 minute power play. Almost without any whistles at that. And what a penalty kill it was, getting even a couple shorthanded chances. Here it goes to the line. Roy stops it with his feet. Flipped up, kicked by Roy. Back down to the Riptide zone and shot out. Here's Garen's picking it up. He's hit against the wall. So the Riptide are going to go back to the power play after just having 4 minutes. And it's body contact as Grady Garens is going to draw that in the late stages of period 2. here at the line. Waiting, there's a shot from far. Didn't go, the backhander towards the net. The rebound, they score! And that time it wasn't quick to score on the power play. Make it 3-0 Riptide. And the Riptide capitalize on the power play. And just like the Lays chip, you can't have just one. Ellis Schrainer banks it in on the power play, getting his second of the game. Number 87 in black now has had a multi-goal game. Turned around by Verhulst around the board. Blocked in by Cameron. Cameron steps towards the net, steered away into the corner. Bunn hooks, looks towards the line. His pass got deflected, but got it back after stealing it from Kember. Back to the line, waiting. Hughes, the shot goes over the net. Cameron's going to get it again. Right at the hash marks. He has his pocket picked. Riptide the other way. Burns going up. Here's Larder for Burns, out of his reach. Minute and a half still left remaining in this period too. Going in behind the net, here's ice, Bazin. Bazin stopping in behind the net. Going around the boards for Kinney. Taken away by the Riptide and Burns and outside. Or for White, he gets a one-touch pass for Kember. Kember steps into the middle. Burns at it ramp off his backhand, and a risky pinch. This could lead to a 2-on-1, and what a nice play, shooting that out of the zone from Hajam. Back with it, Burns across, waiting, there's the sharp angle shot, and that just misses the net, not by much. Less than a minute left to go in period two. The Riptide work it behind the net. The pass goes up to the ringette line. White waits at the blue line. White will sauce it into the corner. Here's Burns, waiting, throwing it across. What a pass to the back door, they score! What a passing play by the Riptide at 39.2 to go. Just incredible play. And Larder finishes it off. Give him his second of the game as well. And that's something you would see out of a QMJHL power play. The tic-tac-toe doesn't get much better than that. Some great passing plays. Larder, Kirkham, and Hasham give the assist. And if assist could be worth more than 1 point, that would be a prime example. As it now goes behind the net for Gerns. Back up for Ivy against the wall. Here's Hatton. Hatton poked off. Riptide gain possession once more in their own end. Up against the wall. That one misses Kirkham. They now have to chase down for it. No icing. As the Riptide may need to get one more shot on. LeBlanc up against the wall. A perfect breakout by the ice. Will unfortunately not end up in his own possession. As the period ends, 4-0 in favor of the Riptide here on MST. Riptide quickly off the draw. Parsons D to D, where it's sent up to the wall. It's held in and cleared by Burns. Stopped at the blue line. Hatton trying to get a stick on it. It's flipped back over to Terriat. Terriat backhanded across for Hughes. Hughes being watched by McKinnon. He'll spin and send it along the boards for Ivy. Ivy, he's pressured big by Trainer. It gets taken down. McKinnon to the net. Working in. Burns trying to get on the loose puck. It's poked in behind the net by Terriat. Some sticks being raised awfully high. Has a sharp angle shot that doesn't go. Stick now down on the ice as they still try to jam away at it. McKinnon comes out of the pile with it. Elects to go up towards the blue line. Backhanded down off a skate. Ice about to take over, and there's a huge poke check. Walking in, McKinnon to the back door, blocked by his sliding defenseman. Out in front, the shot, saved by Laforge. And what a sequence of events, as it looked like the Ice were going to go the other way. The Riptide end up getting a 3-on-1, coming back the other way. Pass is blocked by the defense, but the puck still ends up right in the slot. Here's Nasham. Cleared down by White. In behind the net, taken away Roy. Stopped in at the line. It's banked off the boards. Here the Ice come back, walk up the other way. Here's Chisholm walking the line. Chisholm in the zone. Waits. Lets it go. Turned away by the blocker of Miller. Chisholm going up to the blue line. Shot from Roy looking for a redirection. It's blocked in by Hashem and sent into the corner. Huge hit on a member of the NB Ice as it goes just outside the blue line. Roy handles it, puts it in the zone. Riptide are going to try to take it away. Chisholm walks it in after the interception. Chisholm sips in and shoots off the post, and what another chance. Tristan Chisholm's been all over the ice this afternoon. As Larder comes back, he has 2 goals, will shoot it in. Laforge elects to cover. Face-off 1. Perry waiting at the line. Hesitates, goes down McDonald. Up above, it's Kinney getting it poked away. Walking up is Cameron. A bunch of sticks inside of him. So it's going to be a McDonald that sweeps it across. McDonald. Back to the line. LeBlanc. D to D. Sent up to the blue line. The Ice enter. There's a shot that's turned away by the pad of Miller. Sent to Guimard. Guimard stopping at the blue line. It's the Riptide that move it back. Could be a 2-on-1. Stepping up, McDonald tries to pass it across. It's loose in between a couple skates. Physicality to the backhand. They score! A loose puck on the goal line. Laforge wants an explanation. He thinks he's been interfered with. But Dylan McDonald has put it to the back of the net. And what a tie-up in front of the net. As everyone went to the front of the net, about 3 bodies fell down. Looks to be Hashem, or excuse me, Gurns. I was in the crease. The puck was sitting on the back door for McDonald. He's going to make no mistake, especially off a tie-up like that. Trainer walking the line, he touches it. That's offside. Only other game in action. First period, NB Elite. Nova Scotia Stars also the 2014 division, where the Stars are 0-2, the Elite are 0-2, so both of them trying to end off on a strong note. 0-0 after 1. That game being played at the Olympic surface at the Arthur J. LeBlanc. Here the Riptide, the shot redirected, and it'll be wide of the net. Then down. Here's the McKinnon that absorbs the big hit. Parsons skating back for it, as well as Verhulst. Verhulst going in. He'll send it around the boards for a perfect outlet pass. What a breakout. Here's Burns stepping in, trying to go to Trainer. And that pass too hot to handle, high in the air. Here's Kirkham going down. Taken down in the corner. The pass goes up high. Parsons at the line. The shot redirected by Trainer and just above the net. Burns stops it, goes down for Trainer. Trainer tries to pivot and go the other way. He has two members of the NB ice on him. Somehow escapes, and it goes to the side of the net. Almost took a bad bounce and went into the net. As this puck will end up along the boards and outside the zone. No icing. That is a perfect dump out. Could not construct it better than that. Parsons, a little pass to his side over for Verhulst. Verhulst in a bit of trouble. He has man all over him. Here's Verhulst, able to take it out of the pile and get the Riptide at least out of the zone. Looking for a break, and it's poked away. Here's Guimont. Guimont going up high, stepping in, kick to his tape. As the Riptide quickly construct a zone exit as they move in. There was Kemper circling it in. Larder back for Kemper. Kemper in the corner, back for Larder. Larder will play it off into the corner. Here's McKinnon. McKinnon sent around the boards. Larder's going to go after it right near the hash marks. Going down for Kemper. Kemper tried to put it to the net. Here's Larder, little backhand. Whacked at it. McKinnon the turnaround shot just over the net and into the glass. Riptide trying to go to the line. Here's Mann. On defense. Will shoot it in out of harm's way. Where it goes out for LeBlanc. He can't hold the line. He gets it out. Here the ice stepping in. A nice move. What a move by Purcell to the backhand. Scores! A highlight reel goal. Charlie Purcell dangling in between multiple members of the Riptide and found himself a wide open net. Have another look at that. Backhand to forehand, back to backhand, and found himself with a wide open net to get the ice on the board halfway through the third period. There's a Nema. Up top, Chisholm has a bit of pressure, needs to hold, reverses his man McDonald as the Riptide dump it in. But not going to go for offside. And here, walking in, Chisholm. It's Miller that gets there first to cover. Here come the Riptide. It's left behind by Burns. In the zone, walking in. McKinnon tried a nifty little move, and it didn't work. Here comes Chisholm back the other way. Chisholm up against the wall. Banks, it could be a 2-on-1. Chisholm with Kinney. Chisholm lets one go. Just wide of the net. It'll now go around, stop by the ice at the line. There's a huge heave from Hughes that misses the net. Burns unable to get it out. He'll have a second chance, and this time he will, and get it over to Trainer before it was stolen there by Hughes. Hughes into the line. Shot offside, though. Near the Riptide through center. Backhanded in from the red line. It's moved in to be taken by Buzan. Buzan rims it along the wall, stopped in, Hashem the shot, looked for a redirection. It was stopped by the NB Ice defenseman in front. Loose puck, no one going after it. Eventually there's Hatton to intercept. Makes a nice move to get it around him in the corner as Guimont now pokes it down behind the net. Hatton with heavy pressure, pins up the Riptide defenseman. There's Guimont in there as well. The Riptide come out of the 2v2 victorious, and here they go, storming up ice. McDonald, a nice little flip, trying to send his man on a breakaway, and a puck race for it. Ends up being icing, although ever so close. Kirkham definitely thought that his lob would not be considered icing. Here's Chisholm, sharp angle, misses the net. Here it goes around the wall. The Riptide take it out over the red line. Now it's entered in the zone by McKinnon. He falls down. Chisholm heads the other way along the left side. Tristan Chisholm works up. Still behind the net. Sets up his man out in front. The shot, the save, the rebound. Turnaround is Purcell, and he couldn't get it in. Another try. What great stops from Miller. Here the Riptide working back. Here's McDonald. Working up the left side. McDonald waits. Centers. There's the shot from McKinnon. It went off a stick. It may have been LeBlanc's, unsure. Side of the net. They try to jam it in. LaFeur's the save. The rebound. McKinnon sent it wide. Gurns at the line. He'll put it into the corner. Here come the ice out of the zone. LeBlanc less than 4. He'll go off the boards. This one not going to be icing as it goes on net to Miller. He'll play it. No early whistle on that one. Here back for Hughes. Hughes will throw it up, blocked by the defense. Parsons over and across. Here's Trainer stepping in. Nice little deke, tries to cut in and was taken down with a stick. Regathered by Kirkham. Kirkham stops and curls, tries to go to the net. Left off for Burns. His shot off the side of the net. Net moved a fraction of an inch. They're going to whistle this one down. The ice under fire. Here, Hashem, his clearing attempt is blocked on his backhand. Stopped out by Trainer. He makes a nice pass to Burns. Burns in, soft dish off, and a toe drag attempt from Kirkham doesn't work. Kirkham steals now, looks out in front. Couldn't get the pass off to Burns. Burns had the puck hop over his stick. Here come the ice back the other way. Flipped up Guimont along the red line, stolen by Burns. Could be a 2-on-1. Burns and Trainer. Burns in behind for Trainer. Right off the bench. Roy is able to stop that rush. Here's Hashem, walks in with a shot, blockered away by Laforge in the net. Ice trying to go up the wall. Hashem keeps it again. His dumping attempt is intercepted. Another clear-out attempt intercepted. Little game of ping pong happening in the neutral zone. Before him, it's McKinnon that rushes up. Blocker save, the rebound on the doorstep. Sliding Riptide player into Laforge. But the puck stays out of the net. Face-off is won. Riptide try to put it to the net. Ice try to get a clear going. Looking here, it's Bazin getting it outside for Ivy. Ivy curls back. A nice lead pass up the opposite side for Hatton. That's chopped back. Flipped against the wall. Still held against the wall. And here's the open Chisholm. Chisholm stepping in. Trying a little dangle, backhand, left it off behind him. Hatton got it only behind the net. McKinnon will flip it high now. Hops along the dasher, stops along the line for Roy. His shot will redirect into the corner as now the Riptide come up past the blue line and into neutral ice. LeBlanc ended up getting possession. His pass ended up off a foot. Here's Hatton, turns, spins into the zone. Hatton walks in, going straight up the gut before going to let the poke check, and the shot off the pad. of Miller as it came out almost right in the slot. Minute and a half still left to go. Stepping up along the left side, McKinnon waits, backhands one just over the net, a very sharp angle. And here's Chisholm working in. Chisholm taken down. He's been hooked, so we're going to have an NB Ice power play to end off the game. So a hooking call up and coming. That'll send the NB Ice to the power play. Riptide off the draw. Parsons turns and spins. Hughes will get it at neutral ice and send it across over for Tedian. Tedian will enter it onside, leading the rush. He'll put one to the net. Miller able to corral that one with ease. Face-off went to Miller's right. It's the Riptide that will send it all the way down the full length. Lafolge will leave it in behind the net. Working in Kirkham. Now it's Purcell. After Kirkham had taken a bit of a stumble. Purcell still in the corner, taken away by Parsons. Back by the Riptide defense. It's tipped and could be a potential 2-on-1 shorthanded. Stepping in, Kirkham walks in. There's the shot that just misses the net. Kirkham with a great pass from Gerns. Parsons holds the line. This one will end up behind the net. Guimont with a little poke. Will go up against the wall. Terrien, pass deflected off of Gerns. Will now head up onto the stick of Hughes. Hughes walks in. Lets one go. That one hit the side of the net. Hughes along the boards. It goes to Mann. Mann to the blue line. Not much time left. There's the shot through traffic. The buzzer goes. They put it in the net. But way after the buzzer goes. That'll be the end of our game. The Riptide take it by a score of 5-1 here on MSD. Stick around for more action of the East Coast Ice Battle right here on our YouTube.
Player of the game for NBI's number 78, Charlie Purcell.
How's your father? Getting better?